Hello, my name is Federico Gutierrez, and a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to be able to support the ACE Afterschool program at my high school campus, where we hosted the Elementary Dance Showcase. Um, it's exactly how it sounds. This is a bunch of elementary schools across the district got together and had a dance off. It was a lot of fun. My specific role being that I was the building supervisor at the campus that was hosting, I took on a number of responsibilities. Uh, Mainly more logistics, making sure that the gym was clear, making sure the athletic crew wasn't going to be there, making sure that the ACE program had access to flatbeds or just helping them getting the decorations into the gym. Also helping with multimedia, whether it was music or setting up the microphone, making sure that all that was working. Lights too. They had me doing lights a little bit here and there. And I just kind of hung out for most of the event and stayed as like more of a support, whatever they needed. I got on the microphone a couple of times, to let everybody know that we were selling concessions at the time, and just basically hung back and showed support to the team. I think one of the biggest things that stood out to me was the students' performances, obviously. Uh, they were as much fun as they were having, and they definitely did have fun, they were very serious. I was definitely surprised to see how much uh how much you could tell they practice. They really loved what they were doing. The parents were very supportive. The sponsors were very supportive, and all in all, it was a fun environment, but it was also very competitive. So that was fun to watch. The energy in the gym was just, I mean, it was incredible. Everybody had a really good time. Everybody was on their feet. The choice of music was great. The kids were having a good time. The parents were having a good time. I mean, even a couple of us adults were dancing on the sidelines. It was a whole lot of fun. I think one thing that I can really kind of focus in on was the confidence. I mean, these are elementary school kids, so we're talking, no older than maybe 12. But I mean, they were exuding confidence of like teenagers. Some of the teenagers that I see at the high school that I'm at uh, don't have half the confidence that these kids did. So it was really nice to see. Kind of refreshing, actually. I think one moment that stands out in my mind specifically is there was a group, and I forget the school that they were representing, but they started off as kind of like a country dance, uh, I guess like cowboy outfit. So it's like kind of slow, two-stepping, and then all of a sudden the music changes pace. It kind of picks up, turns into like electronic, and it was just a whole different vibe, and it really, really took me by surprise. But it was a lot of fun to watch. Um, if I had to make a connection with teaching, um, I think I can highlight the support of the administrators. A lot of the administrators and sponsors showed up for these kids, and that was, to me, a really important, a really important factor. And I say that to say that like these kids, although they are in the classroom learning something, they recognize that kind of support. It's the same kind of support that they get from their parents, but they're getting in that school. And when we're able to follow through like that, I feel like it makes a huger impact on how the kids perceive themselves. And that in turn affects how they're able to learn and their confidence and their ultimately their trajectory. I feel like our role is bigger than just, teaching content. It's to be able to inspire, it's to be able to set examples, whether we see it as such a small thing, or even if we're doing it subconsciously, it's something that we just do on autopilot. These kids, especially the kids, they take that with them, and it's something that I hold dear to my heart too. A lot of my elementary school teachers I still know to this day, and I talk about them all the time because they're the ones that made the most impact on me. And I feel like that's such an important thing to emphasize. Them taking that with them outside of the classroom. Making them the person that they are. So I feel like I feel like it was really fun to be a part of this event, but I also emphasize to the ACE program too that we're more than happy to host these events. Um, anytime that they need. That this ties back to what I was just saying. Us showing support, whether it's lending the campus or volunteering some time at an event or running with the kids. We have local 5Ks, running with the kids at a local 5K, stuff like that. When they really love that. That's the kind of stuff that they remember. um I think the biggest takeaway from here is the connection between schools and community. um Being from the lower RGV, a lot of people understand what community really means. It's not, doesn't just stop at home. Sometimes kids don't get it at home. So when they go to a place of education, even if it's just one that's hosting something like that, when they see that they have the support across the board, I mean, that speaks volumes. A lot of times, some people might say maybe they won't understand it, maybe they're not going to catch on right away, but you know, you don't actually know that they won't grasp the idea. It's more of a feeling. It's not even a thing that you have to think about. It's more of something that they'll be able to feel and take with them. Again, I go back to, emphasizing that the impact goes beyond the classroom. Whether we're the teacher, whether we're a hall monitor, a security officer, an administrator, a custodian, it doesn't matter. These are all working parts to bettering a student's education. And even then, it doesn't even have to be during working hours. If it's at an after school program, or it's like for example, at an event that we're hosting, it as long as it's for these kids and for their futures, and I don't see why it's I feel like it should be something that's recognized, and it shouldn't even have a second thought to it.